It is Saturday, October 18th, and I am going to try another Too Tall Toby practice model. Apparently there is a premium model that's been made available, sponsored by, I guess it's this cadop.io. So I'm going to give this one a shot. Looks like it was released about 6 days ago. So let's get into it. As usual, we always want to start off. Oh, I never saved that one. I'll get to that after the video. Always want to start off with a component. That makes it easier to apply materials and get the weight. And let's get into it. Oh man, I have not done a sweep in a very long time. I'm not even sure I remember how to do that. That essentially means like drawing a line that follows a certain shape and then creating another line for that line to follow to then sweep it across to create a shape. Anyways, this could go very poorly as usual, but that's okay because remember, we're not one of those speed runners on this site. We're really just trying to get it done, and I hope my videos help people see how I problem solve as a newbie. Okay, what do we got? So the first thing I've made sure to get better at is when you start off one of these, making sure you have the right units set up. So that looks like it's in inches. So I'm going to go ahead and go to document settings, edit that, update that to inches. It is really not fun if you forget to do that really early on. Fusion does not allow you to just magically say, hey, make all these numbers a different unit. All right, now what do we got here? Looks like we've got a bench. It's made of metal tubes. A lot of metal tubes. Plain carbon steel tubes. Hint, use layouts, patterns, mirrors, frames, and or weldments. Okay, I think what they're kind of saying there is, I don't know, I have no idea what layouts are, but I do know what mirrors are and patterns are. I don't know what frames are or weldments. But as you can see, it's very symmetrical across this axis and across this axis. I mean, theoretically, you could just create basically this corner section and then mirror it and then mirror it that way. This little middle rod makes that a little bit more challenging because no one wants to take the time to create half of one of these tubes. You likely want to just create basically maybe just 2 of the tubes and halfway down, and then mirror that across. That'll leave a gap here along the halfway, and then you could just create a duplicate of that tube, place it, and then mirror that across the halfway. That would be, I think that's going to be my approach. So again, this makes things a little bit more interesting in that Okay. It makes it interesting because, like, if I mirror this side to that side, that would also include mirroring this thing. That seems like it's going to add a little bit of a headache. I could create the base first. What am I thinking here? Like, if I create this side and then mirror it, I could then create this to mirror it, and then I have like my foundation. Yeah, maybe we think of these as two separate bodies of work. You have like the top part, and then you have this bottom piece. Does that make sense? How would I even start on this piece? Like, where on the origin would I want to do that? I don't know what happened to my axes. Oh, there we go. Decisions. More time spent here saves a lot of time later, so that's why I'm spending a bit more time here. I think what I want to do is start off. One of the things I'm like trying to figure out is if I'm relying too much on the original origin in order for me to mirror things, and if I should just get more comfortable, like for instance, just starting this leg at the origin and then figuring out good mirroring planes. As I'm building, as opposed to, like, for instance, trying to make this the center origin and center origin, so that when I'm mirroring I can always just use these base origins but that causes me to have to like worry a lot about getting half measurements done. It just gets like really cumbersome. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create this piece here. And then I'll create this piece, mirror that across, and then I'll mirror this piece all the way over here. So it's going to start with this piece, then duplicate that over there, then mirror, and then build this piece, mirror it across, and then duplicate this, mirror it over here. That'll get me this guy. And then we will build the top, which will just be creating this guy and then just patterning it across. The fact that we're doing that last makes all the other symmetrical mirroring that we'll do a lot easier early on. All right, so I'm going to start off by sketching the bottom of this leg, extruding it up, and then doing this one, extruding it. I'm assuming there might be something to do with like not having to recreate this sketch constantly, but I don't know how to do that. So maybe when I watch other people's tutorials, I'll learn a thing or two about that. So let's go ahead and sketch. And this is going to be a rectangle with 3 and 3. And we're going to fillet this to be 0.5. And then we'll do an offset this direction minus 0.25. Oops, I meant to select the whole thing. Offset, go in minus 0.25. And saying wall type, I mean that to me means that like there's probably a special way of doing that. Okay, I just wanted to check that was going to be 0.25, which is fine. Okay. So now we can extrude this up the height of this guy, which is 9. Great. And then I'll do this one across. So where are we? If we go home. Okay, so I'll do it on this end. Start a sketch. You know, redoing that sketch over and over again is going to get really old. I will admit that's going to get really old. 3, 3. So that'll be a nice learning once I figure out how to do that after this video. Okay. Let's select that. Offset minus. Actually, it looked like it was going the right direction. Having a little difficulty here. I'm gonna hide the other sketch then. He's hidden. It's interesting. I don't know why those lines are showing. But we're gonna just go ahead and just select this, offset. This is getting to be a pain in the butt. .25. Okay. And then extrude this out. And that width is 14. Oh, I already messed up. It's on the top of it. Ugh. Okay. So we got a sketch on this plane. My B. I don't understand why it does that. If I select the whole thing, I guess it's just selecting the plane, not the edges. I don't know. We're gonna do minus 0.25. Done. All right, now we can extrude this thing this way. And that is 14 across. Sorry, minus 14. Okay. Oh, did those get combined? See, well, I want to do that as a separate body. So we'll do new body. I was second guessing whether I should do new component. We'll figure that out here in a second. Okay, and then maybe I'm wondering if I can do pattern on path. Select that object, select the path. I don't think that's the right way to do it. I mean, I don't even know how I would figure that out. Yeah, there's no way to like select to, let's figure out a different way of doing that. So there's a way of mirroring, but then I have to select a mirror plane and I don't have a mirror plane. So that is also really not terribly helpful. We have this, and then I could move it. How does this work? That feels closer, but it still feels like I guess I could try aligning. That's interesting. What does align do? Move object by aligning geometry selected from the object. Okay. This is really janky, but I'm gonna oh, what the heck? I don't know if I know how align works. I thought if I said this and this, okay. So that works. I mean, clearly that's not the most appropriate way to do that. But, you know, it did the job. All right, well, let's go ahead and create the next one, which is going to be this guy. Do more fillets. 0.5, perfect. And let's go ahead and select those. And we'll do an offset minus 0.25. Extrude this. That way, and we know that that is 37. I mean, I kind of like the duplicate align. I don't know if that's considered kind of. Oh, one thing I want to make sure is I did new body. Okay. I don't know if that's considered kosher, but that worked out really well for me. How did I do a copy before? Oh no. Now I can't even figure out. How did I do that before? Oh, create copy. Wow. Okay. Now if I just align this with this, I mean, that might be cheating, but that was just so easy, right? Then we can do the same thing. Grab this one, and this one, create copy, translate. I mean, 40 inches makes sense because it's 3 inches wide. I mean, that's right on the money. Yeah. So there you go. That's our base. Okay. And then I was just thinking about this. There's like a slight overhang on this piece. So trying to figure out where to place that would be a pain in the butt. So what would probably be easier is to create the center one and then do a pattern, symmetrical pattern out in both directions to fill the others. So that to me means I want to do a sketch on this plane. And I want to get a square going right here. It'll be 3 by 3. Now the question is, how do I center this with that? I think if we do horizontal vertical, constraint has already been applied. That certainly can't be the case. How do we do that? It's these simple tasks that really throw me through a loop. Can we make those coincident? Do I need to project this? Let's go ahead and do a project. Okay. Now what? How do I get? I guess I coincident this to there. Okay, so now we're on the line. I mean, we could do a coincident of this to that. I think that, yeah, it's over constrained. I mean, one way of doing this is so dumb, but I'm gonna do it. Is I do two construction lines, one here, and then one here, and I set these two to be equal to each other. Oh, I'm not done with that sketch. I mean, that felt wrong, but it worked. And now we'll do the fillet. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Okay, let's grab all of our lines. Yes, we've done this 1,000 times. Offset, we're gonna do minus 0.25. Extrude this guy, and we want to go this direction, and we know that that is 50, minus 50. Okay. Oh, wait. That was dumb. Yeah. Yeah, that was dumb. And I'm kind of trying to think through how I would actually get that centered across the top. Oh man. I might just be lazy and do some math and then watch some videos and figure out how to do it smarter, but we know this is 25, right? We also know that this is 37 over 2. So what is that? 18 and a half. So it's 18 and a half plus 3 is 21 and a half. So if I extrude it, 25 minus 21 and a half, 3 and a half, then that's appropriate. I'm just gonna do that because I'm not loving how I've been doing this to begin with. It's 3 and a half. Then I'm gonna edit this extrude to be 50 minus 3 and a half, which is 46.5. And that should get us and then we'll pattern along a path. This one. Oh, did I join bodies? You son of a gun. New body. Okay. Try that again. What am I looking for? Pattern along a path. This one, the path is this. And we're going to do symmetric. And we're going to do 5. If we do spacing, it almost seems like that should be 10. Why is that 10? I couldn't tell you. Oh man. I can't wait to watch other videos and realize how terrible this was. All right, well, let's go ahead and measure it. So first off, we're gonna apply a material. Go to my favorites, we've got it. Plain carbon steel. And then let's go ahead and go to properties, select our component, and we'll go ahead and input that. So we need this in pounds. So that's going to be 4529.204 divided by 16, 283 pounds and 75 tenths. Oops, I should have written that down. Sorry, 4529.204 divided by 16. I'll just paste that all in here. Ta-da! All right, let's go ahead, let's go ahead and see what these other folks are doing. Okay, they create their shape. He started with the leg, he duplicated it, created the thing. Oh wow, so he is able to just create a pattern and then sort of move it around. That's dope. Okay, he did the center thing as well, and then I'm assuming he did the pattern. Yep. Okay, I don't know how to do that on Fusion, but we'll figure it out. That's all I got. Thanks, y'all.